The evidence is that the beginnings of this, we'll call it an alphabet for the moment, this script, and I'll explain what it is in a second. That starts, the very first time we see that script in Egypt is in the reign of Amenemhat III, Joseph's pharaoh. So it can't be Moses that invented it because it's already there before Moses is born. Yeah. So it has to be somebody in a powerful position who has learnt Egyptian hieroglyphs and how to read them, because I'll explain in a second, this new script is based on the original hieroglyphs of Egypt. And why not Joseph? He's the man in charge of the land. He's dealing with Semitic peoples all the time, as well as the Egyptians. He needs to communicate with them. Let's invent a form of script that they can read in their language, which is Hebrew. Okay, so in that reign, Joseph sits down and he looks at the Egyptian hieroglyphs and he says, okay, this symbol of an Egyptian ox, the head of an ox. Okay, now in Egypt it's a different word, it's ka. Okay, but in Hebrew the word is aleph. So I'll make the Egyptian hieroglyph for a calf head or an ox head, I'll make it the first letter of the alphabet, aleph. Let's do the snake, okay, the Egyptian serpent, all right. Well, in Hebrew that's nun, so we'll make that symbol the letter N. So nun, N, okay. Tau, letter T is a cross in Egyptian, and that becomes our letter T as well with a cross. There's loads like that. Let's look at Kaf, for instance. The Egyptian hand, okay, becomes a hieroglyphic hand, okay, and that is the word Kaf, and that becomes a K, okay, and you can go through the whole alphabet like this. So he turns thousands of Egyptian hieroglyphs into a simple alphabet of about 26 letters. And so now they use the sounds of the first letter of each of the Hebrew words representing the signs. And now Moses, a couple of hundred years later, can use that to start to write the book of Genesis, can start to write the record of the Exodus journey, etc. And it goes all the way through until we get into Canaan. And then the archaeologists call it Proto-Canaanite, but it's actually Proto-Hebrew. Once you understand that this Proto-Sinaitic alphabet is actually Hebrew, then the Hebrews or the Israelites give it to the Phoenicians. Thank you, the Phoenicians say, thank you very much. And the Phoenicians give it to the Greeks, and the Greeks give it to the Romans, and we end up with our modern alphabet. So, for instance, that is the hieroglyphic sign for an ox head. Okay, turn it round 180 degrees, it becomes our capital letter A. Yeah. So, and you can do that with all these signs. Resh is actually the profile of a head and shoulders. Okay, and so you can do that all the way through. That's our letter R, which is the head and shoulders of a person. You can do that all the way through these symbols. The water sign, Mem, again, and that becomes Mayim, and that is our big letter M. So all our letters from our modern alphabet come from the Proto-Sinaitic inscriptions, and before that, the inscriptions in Egypt, which were invented by Joseph, this brilliant young man.